Most cruisers don't realize it, but the biggest mistake of their entire vacation happens before they ever step on the ship. It happens at the booking screen, usually late at night. Usually rushstand, it can lock you into the wrong ship, the wrong cabin, and sometimes the wrong price by hundreds of dollars. The truth is simple. Most people book their cruise wrong, and they don't realize it until it's way too late to fix. Picture this for a moment. One traveler paid $400 more than the couple in the cabin next door because they booked during a sale that wasn't actually a sale. Another picked a ship marketed as family fun, expecting quiet relaxation, and spent the week trying to escape water slides, deck parties, and character parades. And then there's a classic nightmare, booking a great deal inside the cabin, only to discover it sits directly under the nightclub, the theater, or the anchor mechanisms that slam every morning at 6 a.m., all because the deck plan wasn't checked. Here's the contrast. The average cruiser picks whatever looks cheapest or most convenient, but the smart cruiser, the one who actually gets what they paid for, checks the ship's age, layout, neighborhood zones, cabin position, and every hidden fee before clicking book. That's the difference between feeling trapped in the wrong choice and knowing you're stepping onto a ship that actually matches your style, your noise tolerance, your preferences, and your budget. So before you spend a single dollar or lock in a single date, here's what actually matters and what every smart cruiser checks first. Why this guide saves you money before you sail. Before you book a cruise, you deserve one thing most people never get: clarity. By the end of this guide, you'll know exactly what to choose, what to avoid, and what cruise lines quietly hope you never notice. You're not just learning tips, you're learning the booking rules they don't advertise, the fine print they bury, and the traps that cost travelers hundreds of dollars every year. I've spent years researching and breaking down policies across the biggest cruise lines: Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian NCL, MSC, Princess, and Celebrity. I track their baggage rules, their Wi-Fi tiers, the real differences between cabin categories, and how their pricing cycles shift throughout the year. Everything in this guide is built from actual data, current policies, and real passenger experiences. And here's the promise. If you follow this video from start to finish, you'll avoid the big 6 booking traps, the mistakes first time and even experienced cruisers walk into without realizing it until they're already on board. But before we dive into what's changing in 2025 and why booking strategies look different than they did even a year ago, we need to align on a few key assumptions. Before we go deeper, here's exactly what this video covers and what it won't. We're focusing on the 6 major mainstream cruise lines most travelers book in 2025: Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian NCL, MSC, Princess, and Celebrity. These are the lines where pricing, perks, and policies shift the fastest and where most booking mistakes happen. I'll also include quick notes for Disney Cruise Line, Virgin Voyages, and Holland America, but they follow different pricing philosophies, so they're not the core focus. We're working with 2025 pricing models, where fares are now fully dynamic. Bundles include more add-ons, Taneber, and terms, like drinks and Wi-Fi included, don't mean the same thing across different cruise lines. Policies update constantly, so everything here references current facts, cabin category, PDFs, and the most recent booking rules each line published. With that framework locked in, let's tackle the decision most people rush: choosing the right cruise line. Most people pick their cruise line for the wrong reason: a flashy ad, a cheap fare, a giant ship with a water slide that looks cool on Instagram. But here's the real question. Are you choosing the ship that matches your personality, or the ship that simply shouted the loudest? Because every cruise line has a distinct identity, a mood, a vibe, and booking the wrong one means you're stuck for 7 nights in a floating world you didn't want. Let's break down the true personalities, the ones cruise lines never list in brochures by experienced travelers. Noble Heart, Royal Caribbean, the high energy, deck heavy, adventure ship, perfect for families, couples who love activities, and anyone who wants bumper cars, robot bartenders, and But if you want quiet, Royal's biggest ships aren't that. Carnival budget, fun, loud, party forward, casual food, lively crowds, and non-stop entertainment. Great for friend groups and first-timers. If you want luxury spa days and calm lounges, this isn't your lane. Norwegian NCL freestyle, flexible, choose your own flow, no strict dining rules. Good solo cabins, tons of specialty dining, ideal for independent travelers and people who hate schedules. MSC, the cheapest big ships, with divided reviews, ultra-modern hardware, but service and crowd experience very a fit for bargain hunters and travelers who prioritize ship design over consistency. Princess and celebrity, relaxed, refined, adult-focused, calmer, more elegant, fewer kids, better food. Perfect for couples, honeymooners, and relaxation seekers. Holland America, quiet, classic, older demographic, destination-focused itineraries, excellent enrichment programs, but definitely not a party scene. And think beyond the brand. Families with strollers, solo travelers, seniors with mobility concerns, travelers needing accessibility features. The right ship matters even more. Once you match your personality to the right line, the next choice becomes the real trip maker, your cabin. And this is where most people unknowingly sabotage their cruise. Here's one of the most expensive traps in cruising, and most people fall straight into it: upgrading your cabin just because it sounds nicer. Cruise lines know exactly how to tempt you. Only $400 more for an ocean view. Upgrade to a balcony for just $799. But here's the truth that experienced cruisers learn the hard way. Not every upgrade actually improves your vacation. Let's break it down. Inside cabins. The budget-smart choice if you're the type who only sleeps in your room. An inside cabin saves hundreds. Great for Caribbean, Bahamas, and Mediterranean cruises where you're outside all day. Worst choice for scenic routes like Alaska or Norway. Ocean view cabins. The overhyped middle. This is where cruisers lose the most money. An ocean view sounds like a view, but in reality, a small, fixed window, no fresh air, and often placed on lower decks. If the price difference is big, skip it. Save for excursions. Balcony cabins worth it. Only when the itinerary demands it. Alaska, Norwegian fjords, Panama Canal, a balcony is pure magic. But for warm weather itineraries, where you spend your time on the pool deck, not essential. And be careful. Many balcony cabins have obstructed views from lifeboats or steel beams. Never trust the brochure render. It's almost always a 3D fantasy. Where to check real cabin photos before booking? Look up actual travel uploaded photos on cruise deck plan websites or ship-specific forums. You'll see the real room, not the marketing version. Pro tip: aft-facing balconies. The secret best view on the ship. Quieter, bigger balconies. And that wake view. Unbeatable. Choosing the right category matters, but choosing the right location matters even more. And that's where most cruisers accidentally sabotage their entire trip. Most cruisers think choosing a cabin is as simple as picking a number that looks good on the map. But the biggest comfort killer on any ship isn't the cabin size. It's what's above you, below you, and around you. Welcome to the deck sandwich rule, the rule smart cruisers swear by. The noise sources cruise lines never mention one. The pool deck, the all-day thunder zone. If you book directly under the pool deck, get ready for 6 a.m. lounge chair dragging kids running late-night deck parties. Crew pressure washing at sunrise, those perfect midship rooms under deck 15. They're only perfect if you don't plan on sleeping in. 2. The buffet, the worst hidden noise trap. Everyone avoids cabins next to elevators, but almost nobody avoids cabins under the buffet. Here's what happens above your head. Constant chair, scraping dish carts, rolling staff, reorganizing all-day breakfast prep at 4:30 to 5 a.m. This is one of the biggest rookie mistakes. 3. Theaters and nightclubs. Midnight to 1:30 a.m. noise on some ships. The main theater spans 2 decks. If you're underneath it, the bass travels straight into your mattress. Oasis class. Example, Deck 6, boardwalk balconies. Gorgeous view, but noise from amphitheater, arcade, and boardwalk music until midnight. Beautiful spot, terrible for light sleepers. 4. Engine and anchor zones. The wake-up alarm. You didn't ask for forward cabins near the bow. Feel the anchor drop early in port. Aft lower deck cabins feel engine vibration during docking. If you're motion sensitive, avoid high forward decks. They amplify ship movement. The deck sandwich rule: the fix: always book a cabin with a quiet deck above you and a quiet deck below you. Ideal buffer layers. Stateroom deck above stateroom deck. Below this noise cushion gives you the calmest sleep on the ship. Accessibility smart tip: midship on a lower deck equals less movement, easier walking distance, and smoother ride. Cruise prices don't just go up or go down. They move like airline fares, constantly shifting based on demand, remaining inventory, and how desperate the cruise line is to fill a ship. And if you don't understand their rhythm, you can pay $300, $900 more than the person in the cabin next to you. The truth's: cruise lines never advertise. Every sailing has a hidden curve. Prices spike when a ship is selling too fast. Prices drop when a ship is lagging behind. Prices change when a competitor releases a sale. Prices react instantly when holidays approach. Most travelers book at random, but smart cruisers time their booking strategically. The price drop window savvy cruisers know this. Here's the pattern across most major lines. Tuesday, 2 mornings are the quietest booking periods. That's when cruise lines quietly adjust rates after weekend demand is analyzed. Meaning, you're more likely to catch a dip. Seasonality matters too. Caribbean prices dip after major holidays. Alaska prices swing heavily in early May and late September. Europe sailings soften when airlines hike flight prices. This is where rookies lose money. They chase the lowest fare without understanding when fares actually move. Your price protection's safety net. Most people don't know this, but some lines let you claim a lower price even after you book. Examples: Royal Caribbean, best price guarantee, request adjustment before final payment. Carnival, early saver locked rate plus price drop credits. Strict rules apply. Script should cite each line's policy page. Catching just one drop can save real cash, sometimes hundreds. Cruise lines, la bundles, because they look like deals but quietly lock you into the most profitable add-on. Drink packages, Wi-Fi tiers, and specialty dining bundles all feel harmless, until you realize they're designed to make you spend more before you even sail. The drink package math they hope you don't do. Most cruise drink packages now run $65, $120 per person, per day. That means on a 7-night sailing, you're committing $900 plus per person. Here's a mistake. Most people buy because everyone says it's worth it. But the break-even math is simple. You need 5-7 alcoholic drinks per day every day, or the package loses value. On port-heavy itineraries, sea days, or alcohol-light travelers, you will overpay. And watch the limitations. MSC's Easy package excludes many cocktails. NCL's free at sea drink package adds a mandatory 20% gratuity. Royal charges extra for drinks above a certain price cap. A bundle isn't a bundle if half the menu isn't included. Wi-Fi. The tier trick Wi-Fi isn't one product. It's 2: basic, surf email, texts, light browsing surf, plus stream video apps, calls, uploads. Mistake. Passengers buy the top tier, just in case. Pro move. Match the tier to your needs, or use Portes Plus onboard messaging apps to skip it entirely. Script should cite Royal Voom details, plus each line's Wi-Fi FAQ, dining packages, the savings that aren't. Many lines require prepaid gratuities on dining bundles, and some packages exclude the most popular venues like steakhouses on embarkation night. If you don't plan specialty meals ahead of time, the bundle doesn't pay off. Shore excursions are where cruise lines quietly make some of their biggest profits, because most passengers assume booking through the ship is the only safe option. But here's the truth. Cruise line excursions can be 40 to 70% more expensive than booking directly with local operators. And that markup, you're not paying for a better tour, you're paying for convenience. Cruise line tours. What do you actually get when you book with the ship? You're mainly buying 2 things. A guaranteed return. If the tour runs late, the ship waits. A vetted vendor, especially in ports with safety concerns. That's it. The exact same tour, same boat, same guide. Same snorkel gear may be listed on Viator or TripAdvisor for a fraction of the price. Many cruisers never realize they're sitting next to people who paid half as much. The common mistake: most passengers panic book all their excursions through the cruise line months before sailing, then arrive in port and discover private operators offering the same experience with smaller group sizes, more flexible schedules, lower prices, better reviews. 4 simple tours: beach days, city highlights, zip, snorkeling. Independent operators often deliver a better experience for way less. Script note: mention ports where ship tours matter more: Jamaica, Roatan, Naples, Belize. The smart strategy, the pro move, is a hybrid approach. One ship tour for long distance or excursions, volcano treks, multi or bus rides, tender ports. Everything else? Book local via TripAdvisor, Viator, WhatsApp vendors, or the port's official taxi transport desk. You get safety and savings. Travel insurance is the one thing cruisers either overspend on or skip entirely and regret for years. Let's get real. If something goes wrong at sea, you're not dealing with normal hospital pricing. You're dealing with international evacuation fees. And those start at $25,000 and can climb well past $80,000 depending on distance, ship location, and aircraft availability. Here's the trap most people fall into. They assume their credit card insurance covers cruises. but many policies exclude medical evacuations, pre-existing conditions, or cancel for any reason clauses. And when you're in the middle of the Caribbean, exclusions matter. Common mistake. I'm healthy, I don't need it. Pro move. Compare your cruise line's plan versus an independent insurer. Cruise line plans, for example. Royal Cruisicare easy to add during booking, simpler claims process but usually lower coverage caps. Often exclude pre-existing conditions, unless bought early. Script note. Cite their plan PDFs, independent plans, AI. 7 corners. Allianz higher medical plus evacuation limits, more flexibility. Better for families, seniors, international travelers, and anyone with a pre-existing condition, often cheaper for the same coverage who may skip it. Young, healthy travelers, on short Bahamas-Mexico runs, who already have strong international medical coverage. Trip cancellation protection and emergency evacuation included in a premium credit card. Still rare. Always confirm coverage land. Most cruisers obsess over the ship, but completely ignore the port. And this one mistake can add $300 to $900 to your total cost before you even leave home. Airfare to Florida ports: Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Orlando is often the cheapest due to volume and competition. Meanwhile, sailing from Los Angeles, Seattle, or New York can look affordable at first, until the flight prices hit you. Contrast framing. Common mistake: choosing the cheapest cruise fare and forgetting flights. Hotels, port transfers, and pre-cruise nights can cost more than the cruise itself. Pro move. Always calculate total trip cost: cruise fare plus flights plus one-night hotel plus transport. Many seasoned cruisers even pick itineraries based entirely on flight affordability. At 2025 reality check. Airlines have increased schedule changes and weather delays, especially winter through spring, making flying someday extremely risky. Smart cruisers always fly in one day early, especially for Miami, Tampa, Seattle, and any hurricane season sailing. Also mention personas, families. Flying early avoids kid meltdowns, plus protects luggage arrival. Seniors. Reduces stress from tight connections. Budget travelers. Midweek flights lower the total cost considerably. Close with a hook forward. Now that you know how the port affects your wallet, it's time for the thing. Cruise lines never advertise how the ship's age impacts your entire experience. Most first-time cruisers make this mistake. They look at a ship built in 2023, see the shiny ads, and instantly believe a new ship means a better experience. But that's not how cruise ships work at all. Let's break down the real difference between old builds, mid-generation ships, and the newest floating theme parks. Old ships, 15 to 25 years. These ships are smaller, calmer, and surprisingly well-maintained. Wow. Who? Because older ships sail constantly, go through scheduled dry docks, and get refurbished every few years, sometimes looking brand new inside. Who they're perfect for? Travelers who want quiet lounges, low crowds, and easy navigation. Hidden benefit. You'll often get the best itineraries on older ships because they can dock in smaller, more interesting ports. Mid-gen ships, 10 to 15 years. This is the sweet spot most cruisers don't know about. They're big enough for features like good theaters, specialty dining, multiple pools, but small enough to avoid the chaos and long lines of megaships. These ships often feel balanced. A comfortable mix of energy and breathing room. New builds, 0 to 7 years. Yes, they're flashy. Yes, they're massive. But bigger also means more crowds, harder to find quiet spaces, higher prices, poor days, with 6,000 plus people disembarking at once. Many first-timers regret choosing a new megaship just because it was trending on YouTube. The real pro move. Don't choose a ship based on age. Choose it based on vibe, Radiance class, calmer, scenic, intimate, Oasis class, energetic, entertainment-packed, but crowded, refurbished ships. Often the best deals in the entire fleet. Before we go any further, I want to ask you something important. What's your biggest fear before booking a cruise? Is it hidden fees? Getting stuck with a bad cabin? Rough seas? Or choosing the wrong ship? Altogether, drop your answer in the comments. Your experience might help another traveler avoid a major mistake. And stay with me, because the #1 cruise booking disaster is coming up next. And trust me, it's brutal. Let's get into it. Most people think the ship makes the vacation. The reality, your itinerary decides whether you have the best week of your life or 7 days of frustration. Here's the truth. Cruise lines rarely spell out. 1. Weather patterns change. Everything a Caribbean sailing in July is not the same as the Caribbean in January. Hurricane season June-November means higher winds, choppier seas, and occasional port cancellations. Alaska sailings in May are cooler and cheaper, but glaciers are brighter. Wildlife is more active, and crowds are lighter. August and September bring warmer days, but more rain. Rookie mistake: booking whatever date is cheap. Pro move: look at monthly weather averages for all ports, not just a departure city. 2. Sea days, visa. Port days: some itineraries hit ports every morning. Others give you long stretches at sea. If you love exploring, culture, and food-heavy port itineraries, like Mediterranean or Southern Caribbean are ideal. If you want to relax, sleep in, and enjoy Shipaminas a route with more sea days. Rookie mistake: assuming all 7-night cruises feel the same. Pro move: match your itinerary to your energy level and travel style. 3. Tender ports: mobility and safety. Not every port has a pier. Tender ports require small boats to ferry passengers ashore. They can be slower, weather-dependent, and challenging for anyone with mobility limitations. Some itineraries have multiple tender ports, others have none. And certain ports have safety or crime advisories you should check. Pro move: research each stop using tools like Cruise Mapper and recent port reviews. 4. Short versus long itineraries. A 3 to 4 night Bahamas run is often party-heavy bachelor trips, college groups, and first-time cruisers. 7-night Caribbean or Mediterranean. Usually calmer, more balanced crowds. Alaska and longer repositioning sailings attract older travelers and adventure-focused guests. 5. Route greater than ship. A brand new ship can't save a poorly chosen itinerary. Alaska demands daylight viewing and scenery balconies mata. Mediterranean ports involve heavy walking peak, comfortable footwear, and planned rest days. Caribbean island hopping: look for routes with your preferred beaches and culture instead of chasing the newest ship. Your itinerary decides your vibe, your weather, your activities, your entire vacation. And now that you know the biggest mistake travelers make, let's lock in your entire booking strategy. Before you click book now, here's what the smartest cruisers do every single time. They track dynamic pricing, watching those midweek dips instead of panic booking the first fare they see. They skip the bundle trap, calculating what they'll actually use instead of buying the cruise line's pre-packaged deals. They make sure excursions one ship tour for safety. They rest with trusted local operators to save 40 to 70%. They compare travel insurance, because medical evacuation bills don't care what credit card you carry. And they always calculate the true cost of departure ports, not just cruise fare, but flights, hotels, and weather delays. Here's the truth: no one gets all of this perfect on their first cruise. Even seasoned travelers learn a new trick every year. The win is that now you know what most people never figure out until it's too late. And if you want to go from informed cruiser to completely unscammable, my next video breaks it all down. The 15 cruise scams and add-ons to avoid in 2025. Book smarter. Sail happier.